everyone and welcome back. Today I'm back with another collab video. Hosted by Shelby KG, we're doing an Eternal Love collaboration. Which means 2 dolls each, so this is a long one. Check out my friends and collaborators after the video. Shelby KG, Koki Dolls, Imagination Dream Studios, Heliophobiant Dolls, and Valentine. I've decided to take the opportunity to see if there's any growth in my art. In 2019 and 2021, I created my wife and I's Vampire the Masquerade OCs, a Toreador named Campfire Demir, and a Thin Blood Keith named Merill Smith. They later on went to feature as characters in my book. As for now, I'm going to plug some of my art. As any OCs do, their designs changed over the years many times. The design this time is based on this piece, the wedding piece, so I drafted some quick concepts. Campfire is getting a nice dramatic purple and black ensemble. The jacket changes a few times in the process. Meryl's getting an asymmetric gown with a feathered bodice and lots of curled hair and a tiger lily because it's Campfire's favorite flower. These are the original dolls. I don't see anything wrong with them even now, and I love them dearly, but I just want to see if I've improved, especially my wig making skills. So I picked up a G1 Deuce Gorgon, which is who I originally used, and I picked up the Holiday 2-pack of Draculaura and Claude. Deuce is well loved, and one of his arms doesn't fit the socket, while Drac has black hands. I could paint them, but instead I'm just going to replace them with another pair I have. I will say, while pretty, the 2-pack dolls have much harder heads and soft rubbery bodies. It's a shame the quality isn't as good. First things first, her hair has got to go. Not too upset by this, because even out of the box it was just stiff with glue. Very sad. Deuce was harder to deal with. I wore safety gloves and was as careful as possible, but he was stubborn. I ended up making a crater in the back of his head. Next, I sanded his tattoo off. I know a lot of people use nail polish remover, but this is just faster and easier for me. He's judging me because I can't get his arm all the way in the socket. We've tried everything. We've lubricated it. It's not going.
so it's a good thing he's gonna be wearing sleeves.
A friend suggested using a hand drill to open the socket more, so I did just that, and it worked! Time to take off their heads. I need to do this for both this time, as I need to repair Deuce's skull. Whoops! And here we go again. I then scraped out all of Drax's hair plugs. Remove their faces with 100% acetone. Let's fix his head. I already glued in some tinfoil into the hole, and now I'm going to use 2-part epoxy sculpt to not only fix that, but fill the dent left by his skull cap. I smoothed it with water, but I didn't bother to sand it. It's going to be covered by a wig anyway. Off screen, I made them both wig caps. Keire has fiery red hair, so let's paint his cap to match, just in case there's any gaps in the wig. I've been buying my nylon hair from Shimmerlocks lately. I really love their quality and fast shipping. I then sewed it all into wefts. Check out Delightful for a good tutorial on how to do this. Now that we have all these wefts, I've just got to glue them on. I tried to be patient this time and use Uhu glue instead of hot glue. For Merill, I decided to use yarn in a few colors, as it's easier to curl and style. I made the curls one at a time before putting them on the cat. This wasn't even close to enough. I tried being good, really. I used Uhu glue at first, but I got quickly impatient and swapped to hot glue. Here's the finished wigs. Mostly. They're being modeled by some of my stock fodder. Onto the faces. First things first, Merill gets a face full of sparkles. This is not a canon thing for her, but it's her wedding day, so it's happening. Then I move straight to pastels. I like the red and black color scheme for her makeup, which I just pumped up a bit this time instead of blending it out. I then layered up pencils to draw on her face. I tried to make her eyes smaller, clearer, and more realistic. Meryl's story is a sad one. She's the unwanted daughter of an upper-middle-class New England family of narcissists. To escape them, she joined the Marines as soon as she could and never looked back. After a tour of duty, she dodged her exit counseling and ended up in California, where she met Chad. Chad was not a good guy. He was also a 14th generation Brujah. He ended up... Well, it didn't go well, and to cover things up, he tried to turn her into a vampire. It took an alarming amount of time, and she ended up chained to him for a few years before she encountered a certain red-headed maniac who was willing to help her out. I remembered to add highlights and a little bit of blush this time. Then I add the catch lights. Paint her nails. A first for her, character-wise. And glossed everything up. If she's going to be a part of this family, she has to represent. At least for one night. Then it's back to her comfy leather and latex. Side by side, I can definitely see the difference in style. It's kind of cool to compare your work like this. I still love the original, but the new one is also quite good. On to campfire! The process is more of the same, but winter had fully set in, so I was having a lot of trouble getting any pencils to stick. I learned that the best way was to warm up the can of MSC with body heat for about 20 minutes before spraying. Campfire's actual name is Kevin. He hates it. He was a twin born from a life mage and a tribe Fianna werewolf. An Ahoon, if you know what that is, which is basically warrior class. He also has an older sister. His entire tribe/family got on the wrong side of the wrong vampire when he was very young, so he lost them all, his twin included. This led his father to alcoholism and his mother to drugs and sex. There are a lot of incidents as he grew up, and the family scouted him out early. They watched him grow, and as he made his own mistakes into adulthood, teen parenthood, drugs, that sort of thing, they eventually came to him in the form of Casimir Demir. He, upon finding out about their world, wanted nothing to do with it, but already been decided for him. He had to leave his daughter and his life behind, and eventually ended up as the right hand of a baron, the same baron who destroyed his family. Later on, he met Merill and was in awe of her strength and character, and her own way of handling her trauma. It led him to wanting to protect her from the world, and they became quite close. So, I kept stubbornly layering MSC in colors until I got something I was happy with. Mostly because I refused to give up on one of his main features, his striking purple eyes. I had to fight hard with our storyteller to keep those in game, and I refuse to lose them now. I added the catch lights. Paint his nails, which are a leftover from the original version of his design where he had claws. and then glossed it all. I used the hot glue method on the original, and it's held up okay. As you can see, I've changed his eyebrows. It's just the style I started doing a year or so ago for him, and I really like them. There's some cracking along his jawline, which is really unfortunate. I also softened his expression and tried to make him feel more approachable. The original will always be a favorite of mine, though. I wanted a style of paint like Claude's, so I just used his as a template to create a manga. And since it fit perfectly, I moved on forward and made the pants out of silk charmeuse. Never do this! It was hell on earth. Using these pattern pieces and fabrics, I'm going to attempt to make a waistcoat with attached undershirt panels. One of my main problems with my mini-me was bulk, so I want to avoid that as much as possible. No actual undershirt, just the illusion of one. And it worked! On the 4th try. It definitely took some trial and error to figure it all out, but I got it in the end. I then added a nail charm for a button. Merill will have the same one on her bodice, but I forgot to film it. Now for his jacket. I bought a 4-way stretch satin because I almost always have trouble getting jackets to fit properly. So this is kind of cheating. Using Claude, I sketched out a pattern for the jacket with long tails. That didn't work out well, so I tried to go for an overcoat style thing, like a duster. They're a signature of his design, so I thought it'd work out. And it didn't. I tried to make it out of various types of pleather. It didn't like being interfaced to start with. Also, you can see my displacer pieces finally died, so I replaced it with this cute cat from Bumblecrafty. Now, I did figure out my problem here. I only had a year of fashion school, so I don't know everything about sewing machines, like when to swap needles. So pretty much everything was bunching and generally hating existence because I was sewing with the wrong needle. So please enjoy my struggle. Finally, I went back to a basic tuxedo coat and drafted a new pattern. I used stretch satin and purple damask to make a nice lined jacket. For a mannequin for Merill's dress, I decided to use Holiday Cleo. I just have to say that she slays. Really beautiful screening, even if her body suffers from the same rubberized treatment. I also plan on using Drax's original shoes, so she's going to be wearing them throughout the fittings to make sure the length is correct. First things first, we need to sew an elastic channel into this tool and hem it. Now the paper is ugly, but it'll never be noticed or seen, so I don't care. For the elastic, just measure around your doll's waist and cut. Using 2 safety pins, I anchored one end of the elastic and then fed the other through the channel, gathering the fabric as I went. And then sewed the ends together. And sewed at the back seam. And this is what the underskirt looks like on a doll. It gathers around the crotch, has a ribbon to catch it, and then cascades down. It's pretty see-through, but won't be once the overskirt is on. In the book, I described her dress as watercolors on moonbeams, and I think this organza fits the bill nicely. So let's make a bunch of circle skirts of varying size to start. Here you can see how much more opaque it is when you layer them up. First things first, I hem around all the edges with an overlock stitch. And then I attach them to each other in the middle circle. The skirt style changed a bit as I worked, but I like how it came out. I also opened up parts of it to show the layers underneath. And because I don't know when to stop, I took lots of gold beads and different pearls and beaded in all the edges. It made for a very pretty effect, even if it added a week to my work time. I used the plastic wrap and tape method to draft her bodice. And then transferred those pieces to paper and added seam allowance. I made this little bodice and added lace to use as corset loops. I got these feathers and laid them out. It was cute. My orange boy kept digging these out of my craft box and bringing them to me to show what a good hunter he is. I cut them down to size and sewed them up. This didn't work great, so I ended up using Uhu glue to make them stay eventually. I then attached it to the skirt and laced her in. For campfire shoes, I used Claude's boots and just picked out the details in gold. And because he'd never be caught dead in anything else, I painted the bottoms red. Merill's took more work. I cut the little wings off and then primed them in white and black. I then painted the white part with iridescent pearl paint and dry brushed the black part with gold. sealed in with Mod Podge. The red paint didn't cover very well, so I said screw it and broke out the glitter to be even more extra. It's everywhere. It's in rooms I didn't take it into. I'm finding it in my food. Said help. The tiger lily I made out of felt and white. Most of the footage was unusable, so this is all there is. Sorry. I also tried to make one out of silk and one out of clay, and this was the best one. They both get earrings. Merill wouldn't normally wear them, but I imagine Xavier just had a ghoul wait until she was asleep to pierce the holes for him. It only lasts for one night anyway. Campfire also has a single gold earring. It came about when I made his first doll and was mad there was a hole in one ear, so it just became a feature. Her veil is more tulle gathered in line with lace. While Kev's hair should seem wild, this is too much. So I borrowed my girlfriend's hairspray and went to town on it to style it into something acceptable. There are a few finishing touches. A purple satin ribbon courtesy of Bumblecrafty, and Meryl's lily. And we're finished! Since the incident last fall, I'm not comfortable taking my dolls outside for pictures anymore, so please forgive my work table. I like the way they came out, and happy with the progress I made over the years. It's good to re-explore your old work sometimes, just to show yourself how far you've come. Am I interrupting? I'm enough of a fan for this wedding, right? And that's it! Make sure to check out all my collaborators' videos and photos. Everyone worked really hard and did a great job. My book, if you're interested, is currently available on Amazon ebook form. I'm working on paperback and hardcover formats. Link in the description. Thank you, Shelby, for inviting me to this collab. It was a fantastic time and I'm very grateful. That's everything. See you in the next video.